Cost categories. What costs can I include in my R&D claim? There's a number of categories to consider here, so let's focus on the first one, people costs. These are the people that have been directly and indirectly involved in your R&D projects. These are folk that will be on your PAYE, and you'll want to consider things like salaries, pensions, bonuses. You can even include travel expenses, but the caveat to that is the travel expenses have to be covered by the staff member themselves and then reimbursed through PAYE. Then you'll want to think of people who are not on your PAYE, so these would be folk like subcontractors, third parties, agency workers. Now, of course, you can't assign every single penny you spend with these subcontractors to your claim because HMRC will assume that part of the cost will be the person's markup. So talk to your specialist to get a breakdown of what you're allowed to add in there. The second category is materials consumed. So really it's all those bits and bobs that you used in your prototypes that didn't make it to the end product and were either binned or scrapped or shelved. But basically you can't use them for anything else and you can't sell them on and you can't put it in the final product. A really easy example would be, let's say you bought £10,000 worth of metal to go into a prototype, and 80% of that metal was used in the development part, in the research part, in the testing part, and but 20% of it you actually used in the finished product. So 20% of that 10k is now on the shelves. When it comes to your claim and what you're allowed to put in your costs is the 80% that didn't make it to the shelf. Okay, it's the 80%, so £8,000, that went into your trialling and testing and ultimately is naff now. Light, heat and power. Exactly what it says on the tin. You can use a portion of this from your accounts for your R&D claim. Research and development allowances. This one won't really be that common in smaller claims, so particularly SME ones, but it's referring to 100% relief for capital expenditure on machinery or even buildings. Again, this is a niche area of the cost categories, so talk to your specialist to figure out if you qualify. And finally, we have software. So this refers to any licenses that you've purchased, particularly for your R&D projects. Don't really think this refers to things like Microsoft or Excel or Adobe, because HMRC would kind of look at those costs as business as usual. Think of it more like CAD, Revit, those kind of licenses that you're buying specifically for R&D projects. Those of you who have a tax year beginning on or after the 1st of April this year, 2023, your claims will now be permitted to include data sets and cloud computing costs.